This is a new beginning, new way of communicating, knowing your worth in your communication, ending any sort of limiting talk about yourself, and bravely embracing creative confidence as you transform something to a deeper level. Gemini, welcome to your weekly tarot reading for March 21st to the 27th. Let's get started and see what are the major themes for Gemini as they go through their week. Gemini. Ooh, that flipped right over. Let's have a look. Your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus. That came out today for someone already. A time of healing. Time for healing. And the energy is gaining momentum. Anything else here for Taurus? Or Taurus, sorry, I'm looking at the Taurus for Gemini. You are good enough. Oh, interesting. Nothing will come of this situation. This card is always very interesting when I see it come up in a reading, because I feel like it always brings me to a place that makes me wonder if you're hanging on to something that needs closure. And then when I see a time for healing, I can't help but feel like that's a confirmation of that. So that you're, it almost feels like Gemini's healing from something this week, and that it needs to be released. It needs to be let go of. Now, there is this other sort of vibe here where you need a practical plan for something that's amping up. Your dreams need a practical plan, and the energy is gaining momentum around something. So again, it almost feels like a lot of the signs have this sort of two themes running together side by side that seem unrelated but are actually super related. It's like something has to receive closure. You need to let go of something this week, something that you may be healing from and recovering from already, and that another part of you is actually there's momentum gaining towards something that feels like a dream, and that it needs your practical attention. So there may be some choices you have to make. There may be some decisions this week. You may have to sign some paperwork. You may need to do something practical this week towards that dream, but it's helping it gain momentum. And finally, you are good enough. So again, I feel like that ties these two together, because I almost feel like the you are good enough could go to both of these sides of your reading. That not only is there something you're healing from, and that a reminder that you're good enough is always going to help with the healing, and that also that you were good enough towards this dream that you're working on. It just needs sort of a practical kick right now. There's something that is required of you, a task maybe. It's helping this move forward. It's almost like I feel like you're ticking things off a list, and you're getting closer and closer to being done something that will really push this forward. And that now's not the time to doubt yourself. This is actually gaining momentum. And that this other situation just needs healing. Nothing else is going to come from this. So if you're doubting yourself because of this just needs healing. This, you couldn't have moved forward on this anymore. It's this that's going to move forward. You're between two worlds. You're sort of dipping between both right now. What is the quality around this healing, this need for healing? What's the quality around that? What's going on there? We see here analyze and precision. A desire to do things precisely is useful as long as it does not involve rigidity. So healing is not linear. That's interesting. Like, are you putting sort of parameters around your healing maybe? Analyze says your time is well spent analyzing, but only up to where you become too attached to any outcome. If you become too attached to an outcome, then you've sort of lost the benefit of this analysis. And so it's interesting, analysis and precision coming up here. So it's like you're healing this idea of being focused on rigidity and perfection and the precision of something, and over analyzing an outcome. and sort of becoming attached to something. And it's interesting because nothing will come of this situation. So by analyzing it over and over again, you're not going to get any closer to understanding it. It just needs to be let go of, I think, and healed, and that you're good enough. This is something that challenged your worthiness, your sense of self in some way. Let's look at you are good enough and see what's the quality around you are good enough. Okay. Communication. The clarity, interactivity, and timing of communication is crucial. Interesting. I wonder if you're feeling in some way that there's a limit to your ability to be clear in your communication right now about whatever this is, whatever's going on practically. It's interesting. I did sort of feel like it may involve something. Let's see here. Your dreams need a practical plan. Ooh. Willpower and introspection. Is that interesting? You're really being guided inwards, Gemini. You're really being guided inwards, but to a limit. Like this introspection card says, introspection is often necessary to deepen our awareness of the unity and divinity of life. Absolutely. But when we see on the other side of your reading, this idea that you might analyze things to the point where you get attached to a certain outcome, it's almost like you're being guided to balance spirit and practical, divinity in life, and the practical actions in life that involve will. Use your willpower to bravely overcome thoughts of compromise and defeat, because the energy is gaining momentum here. The energy is gaining momentum towards something, and it's like, in order to understand what's happening here, you're being guided to be introspective and to analyze, but not to the point where you get over attached or attached at all to a certain set of outcomes. You know what I mean? And to be flexible, to see this as a time of healing, to know that you're good enough to be able to communicate and to have a clarity around this, but that really overcoming any thoughts of defeat are very important. Being brave enough to use your willpower. Let's have a look at the tarot cards here and see what messages we receive. Ace of Rods. Yeah, there's a brand new beginning here. Something that you would call a dream. Again, Page of Rods. Ace of Rods and Page of Rods. Are you seeing this? I mean, that is a lot of incoming energy here. And the Ace of Swords, albeit in reverse. It just, again, it's landing right on communication, as you can see. That's why it's in challenge mode, I think. This is a time here where you're, wow, you're really being guided to use your will. And whatever it is that really resonates with you, Gemini, to be introspective, to see that awareness, to see the unity between your life and the divine, the connection. And I just feel like you're moving towards something. It's going to involve, again, the Empress. It's in reverse, but it makes me feel like you're creating something. You're nurturing something. You're bringing something to life, and it's leading to a transformation. It's leading to a transformation for you this week. A brand new beginning, transformation. It's difficult for you to practically give this dream all the nurturing energy, which is, I think, that why we're seeing the Empress, but it's well within your reach. It's well within your reach, but it makes me feel like it's the end of an era for you. This is the end of an era. If this sort of dream of yours, this is transformative. It's the end of an era. It's the end of a certain chapter of your identity, Gemini. You're moving towards something huge, and I can't help but feel like this is a change that has an emotional component to it for you. Again, this idea of being attached to any one outcome, I think, is the emotional component here for you. This is a new beginning, new way of communicating, knowing your worth in your communication, ending any sort of limiting talk about yourself, and bravely embracing your willpower, and sort of having this creative confidence as you transform something to a deeper level that's much more clear to you. Something that there's clarity there. And it's very flexible. It's almost like it's a whole new path for you. One that you're walking hand in hand with the divine here. And it's very transformative. Wow. No big deal. Just a regular week for you, hey Gemini? Wow. I mean, it's incredible. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share this video if it's resonated for you and you'd like to see more. I hope to see you all again very soon, and I'm sending you so much love and light. Have a wonderful week, Gemini.